what is the best exercise that you can do for your body?
I would say Surya Namaskar A and B. Sun salutations is what they are. It's a coordination of breath, movement, and attention. It opens up the body and develops strength, incorporates breathing. It's fantastic for the mind concentrating and the body warming up and activating itself. Breath is incorporated with movement in a beautiful way, so it really incorporates all aspects of our being. Breath, movement, attention, saluting the sun, giving thanks for all life, the sun, the source. Yeah, sun salutations are beautiful. Great exercise for the entire body and for beginners.
Why should I practice yoga?
Why practice yoga? Good question. Many other sports and hobbies that you can take up. But yoga is a fantastic tool for one to, first of all, be healthy and be grounded in the body that they have. Healthy body, healthy mind. There's a relationship there. Being incarnated here on planet Earth, we have this body, but it's a tool. How do we use it? We want to keep it in shape and in good condition. We want to keep it healthy. We want to keep our motor clean. And there's a direct relationship between the health of our body and the health of our mind. And emotions as well. And so yoga centers us, it calms us down, it grounds us, it cleans our mind, it cleans out our body. It helps us get in control of our mind and our senses so that we can begin to reach our full potential of who we really are this lifetime. Yoga. Yoga is a system and a science for us as human beings, for our individual consciousness to merge with universal consciousness. In a broad definition, that's yoga. Yoga also means union. Union of what? A union of that individual consciousness and universal consciousness. But also, it creates connection between body, mind, breath, spirit, and soul. All of these things become connected as we begin to practice yoga. And sometimes we feel disconnected from nature, we feel disconnected from ourselves, we feel disconnected from our friends and family. But yoga helps to create this union as we go practice with other people, as we begin to get to know our body better, as we begin to connect with nature through breathing, saluting the sun, and feeling the elements. Patanjali, classical yoga, Patanjalim yoga, Patanjali wrote the Yoga Sutras. In the second sutra, he defines yoga by saying yoga chitta vritti nirodha. And what he's really saying there is that yoga happens when our mind is quiet. Okay? We are not our minds, but when our mind is quiet and still, then we can focus on one thing. And then we can begin to experience a union between subject and object. And our experience with relating to our world becomes more of a non-dual experience. Yoga is the cessation of thought forms in the mind. That's the classical definition of yoga. And other people define yoga different ways, and that's just one of them. In a nutshell, this yoga chitta vritti nirodha, yoga happens when the mind is quiet and still. The next sutra says, Tada drashtu svaripe vastanam. Then the seer, me, you, whoever's practicing yoga, the seer is established in their own true eternal nature. Our consciousness and our awareness is eternal, but our mind and our body is not.
What's the difference between Pilates and yoga?
What's the difference between Pilates and yoga? Not really sure what Pilates is. I think I know what it is. It's exercises with machines that help balance and strengthen the body. Like again, I say that I don't really know what Pilates is, but I know that yoga is conscious awareness of the breath and body and union thereof. And so that's perhaps the main difference between Pilates and yoga, if there is some at all, is that there's much more attention to our body's subtle energy in the practice of Hatha Yoga. Raja Yoga than there might be in Pilates. Some people may be practicing Pilates for a healthy, strong body. People are also practicing yoga for a healthy, strong body. But many people are practicing yoga for spiritual health, not just physical health. Well, physical health is the stepping stone to energetic and spiritual health. It's difficult to have spiritual health with a body that is in a lot of pain and suffering and not whole, healthy, and full. Like I said before, healthy body, healthy mind. Healthy body, healthy brain. Solid, strong, full breath, a lot of energy. Good breathing, awakened brain.
How do you come to the idea to become a yoga teacher?
Well, I would take classes, when I was young, in my early 20s, and I knew that yoga was a way for me was a way out of the restaurant business, and something that I could really dive into and commit to and devote a lifetime to.
Why yoga?
Why yoga? We have so many choices. We have so many choices. One famous yogi friend of mine said there are two types of people in this world. Those that are thinking all about themselves, and there are those people who are here to help and serve others and recognize the divine in everything and everyone. And what happens when we're all greedy and thinking about ourselves and not thinking about helping other people? The world starts to fall apart. But when we help ourselves through the practicing of yoga, we begin to see ourselves in other people. And then we begin to realize, gosh, I know how that feels. I don't want to do that to anybody else. Yoga sensitizes us. It wakes us up. And it wakes us up to the realization that we're not here just for ourselves. We are one. I am like you. My tears are the same as yours. My heart feels like yours. That's one of the definitions of the salutation. I see you. Namaste. That's what we say.
What's with namaste? Why namaste?
Namaste means I salute you, I recognize you. And in a spiritual sense, this means the light in my heart, the light of my soul sees and recognizes the light in yours. We are familiar, and I salute that. Namaste, I salute you. In the movie The Avatar, when they said, yes, I see you. I see you. I see that part of me in you. It's similar to that. And another way I like to define namaste is that my heart feels like yours. It's a greeting, it's a salutation, it's a recognition. It's a recognition of self personally and impersonally. Well, we need to have a little of both. If you're too flexible, maybe you're a wet noodle. Okay? If you're too flexible, that can create problems. So we need some strength and stability. We need strength and flexibility to be whole and fit. Too much flexibility, sometimes the joints get injured because there's too much movement. And if we don't have enough power and strength, then the skeleton kind of falls apart because there's nothing to hold it together. There's no strength, there's no cement. So we need strength and flexibility.
Why should you do yoga? Why it's good for you?
Yoga gives you energy. It helps calm the mind, strengthen the body. Vitality and health are improved with the practice of yoga. Meet new people, have more energy, be strong and flexible.
Why should I even think about doing yoga? Why should I start?
Better digestion, better sleep, meet sexy women in your class. Oh. Why practice yoga? Because you're tired of your old hobbies. Or maybe the sport you're playing, there's too much injury. Or maybe you're tired of having stress in your life. Maybe you want to find purpose. Maybe you want to find yourself. Maybe you want the ability to calm down enough so that you can turn your attention inwards and begin to see your real self. That's a couple good reasons to practice yoga. Better health and flexibility and strength, more grace, more comfortable feeling in the body. Some people think yoga is painful, but try not doing yoga. How your back feels after 60 years of this or that, or 30 years.
Ask him what was his most memorable memory in his career.
Having my own yoga studio in San Francisco from 2001 to 2006, that was definitely a high point in my career. Learned so much. It was such a solid offering to the community. We were really iconoclastic and progressive as far as the yoga studio is concerned, and authentic. Very authentic, and we really made a strong contribution to the yoga community and the green yoga community. And wow, we had some amazing workshops. Back in 2000, 2001, I used to travel to Brazil. And I did for many years, almost like 10 or 12 years in a row. But back in 2000, 2001, I would travel to Brazil, and yoga was very new in Brazil at the time. And a friend of mine, a very well-known famous yogi, Pedro Kufer, and his partner at the time, Camila, would put together these yoga conferences. And people from all over Brazil would come. And we teach huge classes, huge workshops with like 200 people in the workshops. And between workshops, we'd go surfing or hang out on the beach and have lunch. And then at night, we'd have these huge music kirtan concerts, which everybody was singing. I mean, like 300 people. Those days were really amazing. Those trips to Brazil, when yoga was really young in Brazil, that was really magical.
Suppose I only could use 10 minutes a day. What would be the most effective yoga practice to get quickly energy?
If you only had 5 or 10 minutes to practice each day, I would suggest sun salutation, salutation to the sun. It's a great exercise to open up the energy channels, take in good breath, coordinate breath, movement, and attention, warm up and tone the body. Sun salutations, Surya Namaskar.
Wondering why Drishti and the focus point, as well the open eyes, are so important.
When we practice yoga, some lineages and styles of yoga work with conscious attention. This is called Drishti. In the Ashtanga Yoga system, each posture has a Drishti and a looking place and a place you're supposed to look. This helps us develop concentration. And this development of concentration is a stepping stone towards meditation and deeper stages of meditation and samadhi, ultimate union. Sometimes people ask, why should I open my eyes? I really like to go inside. Which is fine. But when you're practicing asana, especially under the direction of another teacher, opening the eyes helps you be present in the present moment. When we start to close the eyes, we can start to drift away into another realm of past, present, or fantasy, or vikalpa.